Hello folks, welcome to another video here in the Microsoft Sim. I hope this video finds you fat and happy. Fat in the sense of being fed, having had a meal, not necessarily of being obese. Because I don't think anyone would be obese and happy, are they? I don't think so. Anyway, I hope you're well, that's what I'm trying to say. Folks, what's this video going to be? You know what? You know what I think this is? This is just an old fella enjoying his simming. I hope that's okay to post to the channel. I hope it's okay not to have any other reason to make a video. I just noticed, is that islander doing a wheelie? It is. That islander over here is chucking a wheelie. That's pretty bloody impressive, isn't it? Someone might want to give it the old pole up the date, as they say. Speaking of poles up to date, Jude's on board. How are you, love? You good? Unfortunately, we can't see Jude inside. I could say we can't see inside Jude, but that would be crass. That'd be quite unlike me, wouldn't it? This mod, look, I believe the mod's been taken over by someone else, and I believe that the person actually has got Jude appearing here when you click this button again. I tried it the other day, and yes, Jude appeared, but it kind of broke stuff. I couldn't get the engine started, so, you know, kind of broke important stuff. That's how it was on my rig. I don't know whether I did something wrong. So I've reverted even back to the sort of hack that got the aircraft functioning the way it should be in terms of engine operation, but sans Jude. That's the compromise. Not that I like to do that. So now I have to enjoy her from the outside, and boy, do I enjoy her from the outside. I sound a bit creepy sometimes, folks, don't I? Yeah, look at that. That's impressive. Chucking a wheelie. I'm all over the place. Yeah, this video, how about I tell you where we are and where we're going? It's only a short flight. I don't really have a purpose other than to enjoy a flight in an aircraft. This one here, the TBM 930, this would have to be my favourite, I reckon. And it's interesting because it's a default aircraft, admittedly with mod. Look at this, this is a bit creative, isn't it? Peering through the gaps in the fence. Have a look at that. He's getting all artistic, the old fella. Let's peer across here. Hello. Anyway, let me show you the map, folks, and then we'll get underway. Show us your Mapatassie, they said, and well, I've delivered. Mapatassie, for those of you not familiar with that expression, it was popular back in, I don't know, I want to say the 80s. Maybe I'm showing my age here a little bit. Show us your Mapatassie. Have a think about what the Mapatassie kind of resembles, folks, in terms of a part of the female anatomy. Back in the day when they sort of had a map of Tassie, if you know what I mean. Folks, we're in Tasmania, one of my favourite places in which to commit virtual aviation. Fantastic little place at the arse end of Australia, for those of you unfamiliar. There's the main island itself, the mainland as we call it, and then Tassie's down here. It sort of broke off, I don't know, a few million years ago maybe, something like that, as did UNZ across here, across the Tasman. Anyway, yeah, Tasmania, our bottommost state. And fantastic place. Challenging flying down here, challenging weather, challenging terrain. I've been flying down here a fair bit lately. I kind of unintentionally relocated one of my FS economy aircraft, my TBM, or one of them anyway, down here. And I've been doing some flying and making some sort of hand over fist virtual coin. Fantastic. Anyway, we begin on the west coast, a place called Strahan. A little bit hard to read with all the stuff happening over here, but there's a little place called Strahan over here on the west coast, sort of just to the west of Queenstown. We do have a Queenstown here in Australia. And we're going to fly across to Hobart, El Capital of Tasmania. Short flight, really short flight of like 108 nautical miles, according to Little Nav Map. So we're going to do this in under half an hour. 9,000, scoot across there, IFR, pretty much a direct route. Yeah, that's the plan for today, folks. Nothing really to show you, or really to talk about. I'm just going to go flying. I'm just going to enjoy an aircraft that I enjoy on a short route making some virtual coin. I'm just enjoying simming. I think kind of we need to come back to that sometimes. There's a fair bit of aggro in the community at times. Maybe I'll talk about that en route. I don't know. Let's go flying. Alright, here we are, runway 36, Strahan, folks. I think we're pretty much right to go. Altitude reporting, we'll go upstairs, get a landing light on, get a strobie on. You know, everything else is good. 9,000 plugged into the selector. So we'll be making a right turn towards, well, it won't be Gomom, it'll be Broad. So that's fine. So probably 030 will be our track. No, that's 030 to Gomom. 100. So basically, I think we might make a right turn, head in an easterly direction, then engage Georgie, go direct Broad. Consider yourself briefed, fella. Everything else is good, no warnings. About 80 gallons on board. We are heavily loaded, lightly loaded for fuel, but we're carrying 7 packs and some cargo, and we're pretty close to MTO here. Anyway, no time like the present. What a beautiful vista before us, eh? Early morn here in Tassie. Gorgeous. Let's bring that power in. Don't know what the wind's doing. Consider ourselves power set. 94% on the old torque. Looks like we got a crosswind from the right. Yeah, the windsock would be confirming that. 360. Undulating surface here in Strahan. Here's 80. We can sort of start to rotate around about there. A little bit of right boot after takeoff, fella. Here we go. Positive rate gear up. Runway heading for a bit. Fantastic aeroplane. Love it. Kind of suits the type of flying, or it gives me options. I can take it low and, well, not slow, but I can take it low and feel like a rich prick as I scoot across the ground. Or I can take it up into the flight levels and feel like a really rich prick and cover some ground pretty quickly. 300 plus TAS. We'll go flaps up as well. Yeah, and make some virtual coin in FS economy. It's a very efficient aeroplane. Really well suited to those VIP jobs. Once we get through 1,000, we'll make the right-hand turn, which is about there, thanks. Alright. Yeah, we'll basically head in an easterly direction for a little bit, up through 140 knots. Gears up, flaps up, we're all good. Been breezy down here lately. Woo! Copped some 60 and 70 knotters as we've traversed the aisle. It's nice when it's behind you, but I tell you what, when it's coming into your face, makes for a slow old journey. We'll just roll out onto a heading of about 090, which will be around about here. There we go, 090. How well do you get that right? Oh, bang on. He's done this before. Alright, what we'll do is just retrim a tad, and we'll get Georgie in good position. Get him set up. Your damper flight director autopilot, so Georgie can come on. Thank you, sir. And then what we'll do is come downstairs and say we want to go direct Broad. Thank you. Direct Broad, and then go into nav mode. Thanks, Georgie. We'll make a right turn. We'll go a bit of a heading aligned. And we'll go flight level change. We'll get a pitch down. And we'll sort of nice cruise climb at around about, let's go 180 today. We just got to dial this in slowly. If you go too quickly, you get that pretty significant pitch down as it tries to capture the speed. But if you just do it progressively like I'm doing, it's not too bad. You still keep climbing, which is kind of important because you've got some hills in front of you. This part of Tassie. Beautiful part of the country. 180, there we go. Heading bug aligned, everything is good. After takeoff checks, gears up, flaps up. Hey, we loving life. Here we go. Beautiful. I love this livery. I just wish we could change the rego. I love that blue. It kind of suits this aeroplane. What a beautiful view that is, hey? Look at that. Loving it. Folks, I'll get us into the cruise, and I might talk about the PMDG situation for what it's worth. I'll see you then. Alright, so settled nicely into the cruise here, folks. We've got about 80 miles to go until touchdown in Hobart. It's only going to take us about 20 minutes, according to the G3000. And what a great bit of kit that is, the working title mod to same. Really enjoy it. So the PMDG situation is an interesting one. They're copping a bit of the treatment, aren't they? A bit of criticism. Is it deserved? I don't know. Perhaps that's a subjective response, whether it's deserved or not. What are they copping it for? I think they're copping it for attitude more than anything, aren't they? PMDG, you won't see their aeroplanes on this channel. I did own the 737 back in... Let me take you outside, give you something to look at, i.e. Jude. Oh, that's a beautiful view, isn't it? The terrain ain't bad either, Jude. There you go, nice close-up for you folks. I owned it back in FSX. I think I flew it twice. I regretted the purchase, not because it wasn't a great aeroplane. I think it was recognised as one of the best, if not the premier 737 for the FSX P3D simulators. Just because its performance was absolutely horrible, as I recall, on my rig. That's what it was. And I'm not really a jet guy, to be perfectly frank. Hence why you're seeing me fly something like this. I am a turboprop guy. And I'm definitely a TBM guy now, after the release of this sim. But so I haven't had much to do with PMDG. I haven't invested in their ecosystem. But they released their 737 after quite a build-up, wasn't it? In recent months, and since then we've seen the likes of the Mad Dog and the BAE 146 and particularly the Phoenix A320, which I think may have stolen a lot of PMDG's thunder. The Phoenix A320, another aircraft that you probably won't see on this channel. I'm quite happy when I feel like an Airbus flight to fire up the fly-by-wire version. Although there's so many videos featuring that aircraft that I tend not to publish any videos of it. But anyway, long-winded way of saying, look, I'm not interested in those aeroplanes, so I don't have the coin to throw down on them, to be honest, and I'm not interested in doing so. So, my commentary comes from a perspective of an outsider. I don't have skin in the game. I guess I have skin in the game in that simulation caper, and what I'm seeing is people really pile on to PMDG of late for their attitude. They've got this bizarre, I've always thought it was ridiculous, to be honest, protocol rule where you have to sign where you have to be who you are. You have to put your first name and your last name when you contribute to their forums and stuff. In the interest of getting to know you, that's always been their standard line. We want to get to know you as a person. Everywhere else on the internet, you can be whoever you are, including the Flying Dad. But on the PMDG forums, no, it's name, rank, and serial number, thanks. I always found that to be ridiculous, and people are sort of bucking up about that. But they're copping it a bit. I think sometimes, and I mentioned this at the start of the video, sometimes we forget how bloody lucky we are to be able to sim. This is the golden age of simming, as far as I'm concerned. And sometimes we get too caught up on all of the drama. There's always drama in flight simulation. There always has been. Those of us that have been around for a while, and I count myself as one of those, there's always been drama. There's just a bigger market for the drama now, and a different audience, I think, is starting to come through. Different demographics, and they have different expectations. But there's always bloody drama, folks. Whatever you're doing, whether you're flying the PMDGs and the Phoenixes and all that, or whether you're flying your little lighties, whatever you're doing, whatever sim you're flying, just enjoy yourself. If you're not enjoying it, go and do something else. You know, it really is that simple. Right, so down through 5-6, folks. Pretty much heading direct to the field at this point. Hobart and Cambridge Airport, which is very closely situated to Hobart. It's kind of to the east, or northeast-ish of the main city of Hobart. We might actually track down towards the city. Why don't we do that, Georgie, actually? Bit of heading mode, mate, and track down towards the southeast, taking us over the city. Although it may be doubtful that we're going to see much. We're heading of 100 actually, Georgie will do us. Track down the river, etc. We may not see much because conditions at the field are currently IFR, which could make it interesting considering I'm going to make a visual approach come hell or high water. We're seeing our banana here kind of move a little bit. Flex might be the technical term. We're coming in and out as it recalculates itself. We've got 2000 plugged in. I'm going to try and hand fly it from 2000. There are some hills kind of in front of us here. Hang on, let me just zoom this in a little bit. We've got some hills. We're going to scoot around them. Basically going to track down the river. That's the plan anyway. And hopefully see something in terms of ground features. There's the river here represented on the G3000. We'll go away from this hill. We are travelling in terms of speed pretty well, down to 200 knots. That's alright, we're covering some ground. Yeah, beautiful part of the world. If you hail from this part of the country, give us a shout in the comments. What's happening down in Tassie these days? How's the COVID situation? For one, there are other challenges living down here, but there are also advantages. Once upon a time, it was one of the few affordable places in Australia in terms of real estate. Well, is there an affordable place in terms of real estate in this country anymore? I don't think so. Hobart absolutely took off. Yeah, we're not going to see much, are we? I don't even have Jude to look at. It's got a whole lot of white fluffy stuff. Ugh. Perfectly suited to a visual approach. Hey? Anyway, basically we're flying a left downwind onto runway 30 at Hobart. Oh, here we go, we're going to see something. There's some water, there's some civilization, there's a bridge somewhere down here, isn't there? There we go. Here we go, there's Hobart. That's not too bad. That's more than I thought we'd see. Yeah, the field's sort of over here. Fantastic. If you're interested in flying in this part of the world, there is some good quality freeware available. So both Strahan, where I took off from, and Hobart, where I will land, you'll see freeware renditions of, and there'll be a link to that in the description, or to those. And there are other airfields that I fly to in and around Tassie, which you can pick up on the .to. We might go autopilot off at this point. Thanks, George. You've done well, champ. Alright. Our field is sort of at an 11 o'clock position. And we'll continue descent down through the cloud. And Orbex also has a sale at present as I filmed this video. I saw a post about that, and they've got some Australian fields on sale. Orbex and their various partners. Not that one, this one over here. The field's down there. Just got to scoot around them there hills. Sort of track the coastline. Left base onto runway 30. The wind is a norwesterly at 5 knots. Yeah, there we go. The cloud base was down to like 400 feet or something. Well, I think it might be slightly higher than that. Anyway, concentrate, fella. Let's continue to slow here. We've got a nor'easterly blowing at this point, 15 knots of crosswind. Another unfortunately infamous location sort of in this part of the world, infamous worldwide, is Port Arthur, which is kind of down the road a bit. Port Arthur, unfortunately famous for the mass shooting that took place back there all those years ago, and unfortunately keeps getting dragged up in the collective consciousness every time there's a mass shooting in the States. And people refer to the gun buyback thing that happened as a result, or gun control, or if you're an American, the taking away of our freedom, which is absolute horseshit. Quite frankly, if you're one of those people and you're watching this channel, I make absolutely no apologies. The situation around guns in the United States is absolute horseshit. No apologies whatsoever. But yeah, Port Arthur's down here. Well, kind of down the road a little bit. There's my commentary on the gun control situation. I know I have had people make comments on this channel over the years. When COVID was happening and we were in lockdowns and stuff, there was someone who made a comment to the effect of, we'd let that happen because we let the government take away our guns or something. Again, absolute horseshit. Anyway, folks, got to get myself set up here. We're sort of on an extended left base here, runway 30 Hobart. And that cloud base wasn't as low as forecast. We're good. Here we go. Not too bad in terms of profile. We'll take gear when we turn final. Plenty of time. There we go, turning final now. Might need to steepen that turn slightly. A little bit of left butte. Might be good. There we go. We're going to roll out pretty well. Gears down. We're slowing down. Getting down to around about 85. I like to approach it in this aeroplane. Retrimming. The breeze has shifted to match the forecast.
500.
There we go. Coming in a little bit hot. Admittedly, we've still got flaps to come. Like that. Anyway. Here we go. Final runway 30 Hobart, folks. No excuses for screwing this up. Nice light headwind. Speed coming back. Retrimming. Should be about 85 over the numbers, or thereabouts. Oh, he's almost bang on the money. Look at that. There's 85. Love it. All right, go into a bit of a flare. Don't float it out too long, fella. And we're on. Nose wheel touchdown. No need for reverse. We'll take flaps up as we roll out. And onto the brakes here. Our first taxiway to the left. There we go, folks. Around the corner. Oh, hello. Well, there's not a taxiway. Oh, there is now. I haven't made many approaches to 30 here at Hobart, to be perfectly honest. It's normally from the other direction, the prevailing breeze of late. There we go, just imagine there's a taxiway here. Here we go. This looks like some sort of paved surface here, doesn't there? Here we go. There we go, we'll find a paved surface. Where's this leading us to? Oh yeah, this will take us towards the parking, towards the ramp. Ah, there you go. Folks, I won't bother you with the long taxi because I'm completely lost. This has been an old fella enjoying his simming. Even when he screws up as badly as he has here. After touching down, he's still having fun. And I hope you are too. Don't lose sight of that, folks. If you're not enjoying it, go and do something else. And, yeah. Don't know when the next video will be, folks. Don't know what it'll feature or where we'll be in the world. But until then, stay safe and bye for now.